bear with me. I'm going to try to frame this. So I'm going to start with the end point, which is if something out of the norm for a brand is done.
Hmm.
I would say the Sydney Sweeney ad is out of the norm for
Hmm.
American Eagle Outfitters. They were like, let's go big
Hmm.
or go home. It has to be done perfectly. At the end of the day, it really wasn't done perfectly. So you've got two back to back blockbuster drops by Calvin Klein with Jeremy Allen White and Bad Bunny, and they just really blew everyone away.
Hmm.
They were what they were, and they fit in to the Calvin Klein hyper sexualized, hyper sensual, their brand since forever, since the night.
Hmm.
So that was very on brand, but it was done and it was done very well. So I've seen the comparison. So now you're sitting and you're a denim brand and you want to be like, I want that. I want that. I want that big splash too. So maybe it's possible they looked at that blueprint and even looked further in the Calvin Klein annals and said, remember what they did with Brooke Shields? There's a lot of this chatter online. Let's see if we can modernize that and bring it and have it be our own. Which brings me to my point, which is that's just lazy and it's not very good. The Brooke
Hmm.
Shields one was actually quite controversial at the time because of the nothing comes between me and my Calvins. And it was like, oh my God, clutch the pearls. She doesn't have any undergarments on. What? She's 15, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's leave that part aside. But if that's your blueprint, if you're really looking through the glass and you want to be with the cool kids, that's never going to work. Copycat creative, it dilutes every iteration. And I just think it just fell victim to that. That's my personal opinion. What are your thoughts?
I agree, and I would add that it wasn't genuine. You brought up a really great point. Calvin Klein, and they've had some challenges over the years, but what's enduring is they've always been subversive. They've always been edgy, controversial. So actually, there's a closer parallel to the Bad Bunny and the Brooke Shields internally, and it's really the same brand core is still largely intact. Now, their expressions and the ambassadors and influencers that they use obviously will change with the times based on who's relevant to the youth of today and the audience that they serve. But it's still in alignment with Calvin Klein. With American Eagle, they don't have a history of being irreverent or subversive. So yes, it did. I think I do judge the ad based on the creative output, and I think it's copy and paste. But at the same time, it's just the essence of being controversial, subversive isn't aligned with who they are.
I have a follow up. So I totally agree. What it's not in line with everything they've done and the brand essence, equity, just the history. But okay, so maybe the decision was to change it. And here's an example.
Mhm.
Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. She basically blew up her entire persona very dramatically, very robustly, and said, that's it, no more. This
Yeah.
is me now. Take it or leave it, like it or not. And she went full guns. A lot of controversy. Was it appropriate the twerking on TV? Oh no, clutching of the pearls. There was a lot of what's happening, and then a digestion, and then a full on respect and follow. Lean into her own talents, her
Mhm.
unapologetic point of view on this is me now. So take it or leave it. A little bit in the school of thought of a Madonna blueprint roadmap, but let's not digress because that was a little different. But Miley basically said, we're closing that chapter and we're doing this now.
Mhm.
So that could be what this is. But there was a lack of messaging that this is going to be like, are you this now? Or are you going to go back to non celebrity, non
Mhm.
sensual, sexualized? Like, what comes after this?
Exactly. Exactly. I would love to have been a fly or to be a fly on the wall. I'm sure there's even more conversations going on now. Is if AE is trying to reinvent itself, one, is that the case? And if they are, what is it going to become? I still don't know if this is, and I'm not judging it morally or ethically. I just don't know if this was the right first entry. And if this was their intent to reposition themselves, rebrand themselves. To your point, I don't think it came across clear that's what it is. I guess it's all up to their next few moves will make all the difference.
But there haven't been any moves. If you have a reaction like that, like where are the moves across social channels, across
Yeah.
all the different, I think it was a one little bit of an old school approach, which was here's a campaign, come shop. But
Yep.
we don't operate like that anymore.
And they were successful in launching an outrage marketing campaign, which really is divisive and it creates a conversation around a topic that is polarizing or divisive. And they've been successful at doing that. Now, I don't know if the intended outcome aligns with exactly with what they wanted or if they thought through the ramifications of what could potentially happen.
We shall see. I would have expected maybe two more other campaigns with different people and a different script and a follow up, and it's someone else or maybe a man, and it's
Yeah.
oh, jeans determine my eyes are brown, my jeans are blue. Jeans, my eyes are green, my jeans are blue.
Yeah, exactly. That could have made it one still very controversial, but had a much broader spectrum of people that were in the campaign and also who it eventually resonated with. I'd say it may have been 2 degrees away from being something that was actually pretty good and could have reached a broad swath of consumers, but still had that shock value.